Ready.
Inky's Amazing Escape. This is a story about another octopus. And this one had quite an adventure. And it says how a very smart octopus found his way home. Oh, that's kind of suspenseful, isn't it? The person that wrote this was Sue Montgomery. And the lady who did the pictures, her name is Amy Schundler Safford. And so here we go with Inky is the name of the octopus. And I think they gave him that name because he could disperse ink. The baby octopus hatched out of an egg the size of a grain of rice. Now just imagine the size of a piece of, one little grain of rice is about where I'd hold my fingers like that in between. I would hold them like that. So it's very, very tiny. His mother used her jet to blow him from her den out to the sea. Now just imagine, this octopus has just been born and the mother is already pushing it out to the sea. That is really quick how smart they are. Each octopus set out on a journey alone. They're born ready to explore. And we found out in other books why octopus like to explore, and we know they like that. They like to see what's going on. For weeks, the octopus rode the currents of the Pacific Ocean. By the way, this is a book that is a true story at the end. So you want to remember that this is based on a real event that did happen in another state, in another area. He grew fast. Soon he needed bigger meals, clams, fish, and octopus's favorite, crabs. To find them, the little octopus had to explore. Curious, he wondered, might there be a tasty morsel here? And what about over there? He poked his slippery, boundy arms into every nook and cranny. Remember, they're very laxable. They can, elastic type thing. They can make their arms bendy, or even make their head a different shape. And they can get in and out of very small places. Soon he found a yummy clam. He used his strong suckers to pull that clam apart, and he ate the clam for dinner. He searched among the coral. He found a crack that led to a little cave. In went one arm, 2 arms, 4 arms, and then 8 arms. Good night. So he's going to sleep in what he found in that cave. In the morning, the octopus again went exploring. What would he find today? He could feel and taste with his suckers. But he didn't see the long green fish swimming like a banner rippling in the wind. It was a moray eel. And remember, those are the ones that are cruel toward octopus. So they want to climb on their suckers and get their legs, or arms, I mean. And so he knows that that's danger. The young octopus used his jet to shoot away, his arms and his head, and then his arms trailing behind. But the eel had bitten off the tips of 2 of his arms, and the octopus was hungry and hurt. But he went on. Now remember, he got part of his arm bitten off, so he does have a little pain. The octopus spotted a wooden box lying on the seafloor. In he went, his slippery, bendy arms. He went in with his squishy head. Now, when he gets in there, he ate the lobster, and then he took a nap in that thing that was put out by the fishermen. That's a trap to catch lobsters, and they did have one. And there it shows that the trap is hooked to this boat up here, and all of a sudden, woken from sleep, the octopus found himself rising up, and out of the water. What was the octopus thought of was a safe den turned out to be the fisherman's lobster trap. Now, he's never seen a human person before. Let's see what happens. Why, you aren't a lobster, the fisherman exclaimed. Who do we have here? The octopus, who had never seen a human before, wondered the same thing. You're hurt, the lobster man observed. He noticed that the octopus had some sores on his two arms. So he said, I'm going to take you, this octopus, to the aquarium. Now the aquarium, I think most of you know what an aquarium is. It's like a museum, only it's all about water animals and water plants and things like that. And so he puts the octopus in one of his cages, and they're all around him are the things he caught that day. And here is Octopus in the middle, and he's driving away toward the aquarium. And you can notice there's a sea back here, and there's mountains behind it, and these are all along the road going to the aquarium. Up here, this round building is the aquarium, and it is hooked up by pipes into the Pacific Ocean so they can get water back and forth, which you'll find out later about that. The aquarium keeper saw the octopus's hurt arms. You'll be safe with us, she told the octopus, and poured him into a tank. She named him Inky because when they were scared, octopuses squirt ink. So she decided she's going to name him Inky. But the little octopus wasn't scared. He was ready to explore. He felt and tasted the glass and all the corners with his slippery, bendy arms and strong suckers. He crawled into the top of the tank and looked up at the keeper. She handed him his favorite snack, a yummy crab. Oh, that's his favorite. And now they were friends. He likes her because she pets him now and then, too. Inky liked it when the keeper petted him. Sometimes he was so happy he would change color. Octopuses change color to fool the prey and escape enemies, but they show their feelings this way too. So they can change color for many reasons. If someone's after them that's an enemy, he can change to a different color, like up here he's red, and down here he's changing to white. When the keeper opened the lid to his tank, Inky turned red with excitement, and when he relaxed, he turned white, where he's in the process there. Sometimes he made spots on his arms, extra spots, and you can see him on their little black spots on his suckers. Sometimes he sprouted stripes and splotches, and you can see the stripes, and his skin is different color, different places. Inky felt better. He had fun in his tank. The keeper gave him dry corals, pots, and jars to explore. Inky poked his slippery, bendy arms into all of them. Sometimes he'd squeeze his squishy head inside too, so he was having a lot of fun. Sometimes the keeper gave Inky toys, like he liked to take apart Lego blocks and put them back together again. And just see what he did over here. This is Mr. Potato Head, if you recognized it from your toys. He liked playing with Mr. Potato Head. One time, with his suckers, he took Mr. Potato Head's eyes and handed them to the starfish in his tank. And there are his eyes, Mr. Potato Head. Of course, he's just a toy, so it doesn't hurt him. But I thought that was funny that he took his eyes and gave them to a starfish. Here he is again. And this is the kids are watching him at the aquarium, where there's big tanks with glass between the fish and the kids, and they are having a ball watching all this stuff going on. And Octopus is moving around, and they said Inky grew very fast. When he arrived at the aquarium, he was the size of a baseball, and you know what a size of a baseball is. Now he was the size of a soccer ball, about this big. So he's still not very big, is he? But his arms had healed. So she helped him until he got better. So he is a good friend to the person that was helping him. Inky was always exploring. One night, the keeper forgot to close the lid to Inky's tank tightly enough. He poked his slippery, bendy arms through the gap. What would he find? Oh, this is kind of scary. I wonder if he's going to get caught. He might not be able to get out. Oh, dear. First one arm, then another arm, and then all 8 arms. climbed out of the tank. Finally, his squishy head was out too. Oh, thank goodness he's all together again. Inky slid along the floor, exploring with his arms. Soon he came to a hole, a drain for the water always slopping out of the aquarium tanks and hoses. Where would the hole go? Where would it land? There was only one way to find out, and you know he likes to explore. So he poked his slippery, bendy arms into the drain. 1 arm, 2 arms, 4 arms, 8 arms. Now he's got them all in there. And he pulled and pushed. He pushed and pulled. And finally his squishy head popped inside the drain too. Now, this is underneath the aquarium. This is some of the piping and the stuff they have to control the water in the aquarium and make sure what's supposed to go out goes out and what's supposed to come in comes in. So this is something a plumber would be interested in because they do a lot of work with pipes. But this is kind of interesting to show the underneath part of the aquarium. Inky traveled a long way, down, down, down. Inky inched his way through the long pipe. At last he could feel and taste a change. Out popped 1 arm, 2 arms, 4 arms, and then 8. Finally, Inky squished his head and was free again. The drain pipe ran right back into the Pacific Ocean where he had come from. So he is getting excited because he knows he's getting close to home. And this is the last picture, and it says, and that's where Inky is today and still ready to explore. But look at how the beautiful things under the sea, the animals and the fish, the plants, all different kinds, and it's interesting to look at. When I turned the page, I saw this as a footnote, and I noticed by reading just 1 or 2 of them that there's many things it tells you how they can change shape, how they can change the color, how they can move their body to make it squishy so they can get in and out of small places. And when that predator bit off part of his arm, he can regrow another arm. And I didn't know that they could do that. But he did get help from the aquarium. Inky was a real octopus. The lobster man who caught him at New Zealand, it wasn't here, it was at New Zealand, Shadow Reefs, donated him to the National Aquarium. Inky's nighttime escape down the drain and back to the sea in 2016, which is like 4 years ago, it was reported in the newspaper around the world. So that was a really real event that he got back into the sea, and it was in the newspaper and on the radio. Inky's Amazing Escape. It's a long book, but I think you learn a lot through it. So I hope you get a chance to read it and you have a different picture of octopus. I learned a lot by reading this. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you later.